So let me briefly show you how the first leg is laid down on this kind of a walk cycle. This would be a piece of top leg and bottom leg. If I were really clever, I would probably create one slice a little thicker, that's the upper leg, and this should be a little thinner, and you could create a calf and all these other shapes. For now, I'm going to use a very simple stick shape. So the key is to swing the foot as far out as you can. This again is the calf down to the foot itself, and you have to imagine there's going to be an upper leg here, but this is where the foot is, and you want the foot to swing forward. When it comes to a plant, you want it to stay in that position, then it swings forward again, and then comes to a plant. Now, what you want is the bottom part of this shape to kick out further in both directions. The top is kicking out less, so you can kind of see how I'm trying to get the bottom to kick out more. It kicks out more here, it kicks out more here, it kicks out more like that. You see that? And the top still should be snaking, but it shouldn't be snaking as much as the bottom is. So you're trying to twist this in a very particular way to get the to get a little bit of the snake on the top, but a much greater one. Again, foot plant, foot plant, foot plant. And every time it plants, you shouldn't allow the bottom, you shouldn't allow the foot. You're trying to line it up so it's not moving forward. But if I'm cutting it this way and the foot is planted, it actually stays straight. The top of the leg is moving though, while the foot is not. The next thing is to now create a base in which nothing at the top is moving. This is the waist, and the waist would need there. So I'm kicking it out, but you notice that this part's going to line up pretty well with the knee. And what you've got here is the waist. The knee kicks out somewhat, then the knee connects and kicks out even further when you get to the foot. That's roughly how you roughly walk going forward. This is the basis. Now this is the back leg, and you'll see that what you don't want to do is sort of line it up on opposites of the front leg. So I would cut and carve away parts and pieces to fit. These carved pieces are like this, right? That are taken out. You take out the parts you don't want, where the main leg is obscuring the back leg. But you try to keep the form, and you try to create that woven thing between top and bottom. And so I would go back to this opposite leg, line it up, and then try to actually carve the parts out that need to be, let me see, that looks right. It's probably not synced up exactly, like the kicking cycle is a little bit off, but you get the idea where this overlaps with that, and you have to carve out the parts that allow you to, and same thing with the upper arms, only I have to add a torso in. And the torso, as you can see, is this linear thing that has to be continuous, even though the upper arm is swinging, and that's the first thing I do. I do the upper arm first, then I put the torso in, and lastly I put the back arm, the red arm, swinging as it disappears and reappears behind the front arm. If I were really good, I'd want to get these really lined up. See how you'd want to get the disappearing red arm to line up. Right now it's sort of, see that? That's a good seam. This is a terrible seam, so I'm going to want to push it to here to get the two to flow together. I want to get this flowing like that, and this last piece to flow as well. Here's the torso part. It seams right into the middle, and I'm trying to get it. It actually flows really well right through the middle. And now everything is kind of in sync, and that's really a good top part for this torso, for the timing. I think I've got it flopped. I think it wants to be like this on top of that. And you can see how, I actually had the bottom flopped. So this has to go back around. There you go. And that is a thumbnail sketch of a person walking. This is how the pieces are thought through. if I were to put, I could create the bottom piece. I'd put the foot on this bottom piece, right? I could put the foot on afterwards by just creating now a little skinny foot. And it needs to be cemented pretty well to the bottom of this flowing lower leg. This clay is fairly hard and needs to be warmed up a little bit to work a little bit better than it does right now. But you get the idea. This is the lower leg, the knee. The foot goes out, and here is the swinging, the extra swinging added to this part. This is the hip. It doesn't move. It swings like this. And you create the... oh, one last thing is once you get the foot down there, you're going to want to actually create some negative color, in this case blue, to be the part where the foot is rising. So if I were to have this right here, the rising part is where the foot is swinging. So it goes here, underneath. Notice I press down, and it goes under here, and I press down. The blue, again, it could be white, is a negative color, and it goes where the swinging of the foot happens. When the foot is actually planted, you want to stick it to the ground, and stick it to the ground, and stick it to the ground, because that's where it's straight. It's not actually moving. That's just how humans walk. We don't fly. We don't shapeshift. We don't float. We plant the heavy foot in one spot, and we lift it up. If I were to be really thinking about this, you would also want to push the foot down here, and then flip it up a lot right here. Then plant it, slap it down so it's straight. And then as it lifts up, you'd want to push the foot down, flop it up right here, and then plant it straight. That little extra touch is kind of like adding a little bit of flair at the end of your animation. I would do the same thing with the hand. If I actually had the hand attached to here, I would actually swing it forward with the flow, so the hand would be flopping with an extra wrist to accentuate these motions inside the upper body. The blue, as you can see, is lifted there. That's here. If I were to follow this theory on the back leg, the blue is lifting up. It's going to want to, the foot's going to go down here and flip up here and then plant. That's straight because the foot isn't moving anywhere, and then it's going to want to go down here, flip up, and then go straight again. This gives it just a little extra body English on the foot, so it's actually boom, 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 boom. There's little tricks to that to finish out the basic motion in this thumbnail sketch of a person walking forward. Again, it's not walking straight in a cycle, it's walking as if it was moving forward, and that's why the foot planting on each line as I cut it up is important, so it actually looks like it's taking steps on the ground